Batwoman Beyond, now up for pre-order. And a live welcome from above and Batman Beyond. I am your co-host, Benjamin David. We are live on our YouTube channel. How's everybody doing? Hope your 3-day weekend was good. I didn't even realize at first it was a 3-day weekend, so I got to binge on my, I guess, healthiest part of my addictive personality is going to be binging television. It's a healthy way to get your addictive personality out right now. But binge the heck out of some TV. It was awesome. Hope you guys had a good, relaxing weekend as well. And we got some toy news for you on Batwoman Beyond. So once again, we're live on our YouTube channel. Today we're covering the recent McFarlane Batwoman Beyond action figure pre-orders. So we'll talk about the Batwoman as well as the rest of the Batman Beyond line of action figures from the McFarlane Multiverse. The audio from this will be on our Above and Batman Beyond podcast. Please subscribe to the pod if you don't already. We're on Apple, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And for the podcast listeners, don't forget about our Above and Batman Beyond YouTube channel here, where we spend most of our time these days. So please consider subscribing there as well so you don't miss our vids. So again, today we're covering the Batwoman Beyond action figure pre-orders. That is the Target exclusive Build-A-Figure, one of 4 total Batman Beyond action figures to build the Futures and Jokerbot. Since our show here is Beyond focused, goes without saying, we're going to be covering this line of figures extensively. So be sure to stay tuned for more on the upcoming toys. And of course, subscribe to our DC Collecticast series here on the channel, talking action figures and collectibles from the DC universe. And the DCC audio pod, excited to announce, now back with consistent episodes dropping every other Wednesday. So subscribe to the DC Collecticast on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. We're doing the vids here on the channel anyway, so I figure why not just upload the audio podcast every other week. It doesn't take too much time for me to do that, and it gives you guys a nice, good, consistent podcast again. If you don't already follow us on Instagram, we are at Batman Beyond Media, where you can find plenty of Beyond coverage. Speaking of our Instagram, the giveaway details are on our IG. Really exciting. It's such a long title of this toy. The NECA Batman 1-to-1 grapnel launcher from NECA Toys, the animated series 1-to-1 scale. Really cool. So we got that a giveaway for that coming up. And at Batman Beyond Media is where you can find the details for that. If you are a full-scale animated Batman, you're going to need that thing to fly between buildings. So again, right here on YouTube, be sure to subscribe if you want to see who wins, as that's what we're going to announce in less than a week right here on YouTube, Above and Batman Beyond. All right, citizens of Neo Gotham, let's talk Batwoman Beyond pre-orders. All right, let's see if anybody's in the chat, Patty chat. Oh, nice. Hello, El Collecto. I am excited for Batwoman Beyond figure, all Beyond figures. We need some villains. Thank you. That's El Collecto here on YouTube. Thank you, El Collecto. I agree. And we're actually going to get to, there has been a 5-pack. I normally don't like to, I like to bury the lead normally, but there was a 5-pack that was announced recently. We don't know what it's going to be, but it's coming out. I don't know. We'll get to the details, but the point is, maybe there's going to be some villains in that. All right, so let's get to it. Once again, beside El Collecto, for those of us joining us on YouTube, please comment below with your pre-order stories on McFarlane Batwoman Beyond, other Beyond figures from McFarlane, or the rest of the McFarlane Multiverse. Again, El Collecto likes Batwoman Beyond. I like her for the most part. I do have some gripes, but not too many. We're not going to be going too long today, more of a news update than anything, but with our niche of Beyond, got to talk about any new action figs from Neo Gotham. So first, we'll talk about pre-order details for Batwoman Beyond specifically. Then we'll hit the rest of the Batman Beyond line from McFarlane, including my own personal experiences with pre-orders thus far, as well as my recent guest co-host on DC Collecticast, LT, who has had much better luck than I with pre-orders. So yeah, let's jump into it. Batwoman Beyond details. And speaking of what El Collective said before, let us know in comments while we're going live here, which villains, because I agree, I want villains. I want a whole rogues gallery. What villains do you want to see in that potential villains in that 5-pack? Because that 5-pack's coming. We just don't know what's going to be. So yeah, again, Batwoman Beyond details. They went up on June 29th, exactly a week ago today on Tuesday. They were Target exclusive, so of course, Target only. So here's some details directly from Target. The incredibly detailed 7-inch scale figure based off the DC Multiverse included collectible art card with Batwoman figure photography on the front, and then character biography on the back. So it's Elena Grayson, of course, from the Rebirth comics. That's when Batwoman Beyond was created. Designed with ultra articulation with up to 22 moving parts for full range of posing and play. So 22 points is kind of standard for the DC Multiverse from McFarlane. And the figure from the Batman Beyond build a line, I say build a figure line, Target says build a line, includes one of 4 pieces that combine to assemble, again, the Batman Jokerbot from Future's End. If you're not familiar with Jokerbot, he's from the New 52 comics, Future's End run within the New 52. Batwoman figure is based on her look in the Batman Beyond comic. Again, this is from the Rebirth. I believe she was created in somewhere in the 40s, issue 40s, last year, 2020. Collect all McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures. So that's, of course, them telling you that. And then Batwoman includes alternate hands. So this specific Batwoman Beyond, because again, we're probably going to get a non-exclusive coming up, includes alternate hands, 2 batarangs, and a base. So those are the details on the Batwoman Beyond. I'll get to my thoughts in a second, but just no, let's just jump into it. So I like the figure overall. I love the design within the comics. I don't like the emblem on the figure. I don't think that not McFarlane, or just whoever at McFarlane, I mean, not Todd himself, but somebody at McFarlane just, they couldn't figure out how to get the emblem right on the 3D figure. I don't know if that's because of a 3D problem. Maybe it's the female thing of, you got breasts to deal with. So boobs are a thing in 3D. But in the comics, it doesn't, it fits to her chest, and it goes. My thing is, what I love about the Beyond symbol is it goes all the way up to the chest. It's like almost at your collarbone, and it's got those big, beautiful, red points at the top, and then it comes down. And like I look back to the comics, I'm like, is the emblem like that? But the problem is on the figure, it's just like low on her chest. And again, I don't know if that's like a 3D translation boob problem, but I don't know. That's the one gripe I have with the figure. I love the rest of the McFarlane multiverse. I don't have an affinity for Batwoman Beyond, not just because it's Batwoman, obviously. It's just I haven't read those comics yet. I'm excited to. I know she is Elena Grayson, daughter of Dick Grayson. Of course, Robin, Nightwing, and all that. El Colecto, because Target doesn't ship to my country. Oh, no. Oh, El Colecto asks, is it an exclusive? Yes, the one that we're talking about today is an exclusive. It's part of the Jokerbot Build-A-Figure. I'm sorry that Target doesn't ship to your country. That stinks. If international shipping wasn't so much, I would help you out, but I don't have the money to ship to your country. What country are you in, El Colecto? I forgot. I'm sorry. All right, so those are my thoughts on it. And now I'm going to have more thoughts, but I'll bring it more now into the rest of the Batman Beyond line from McFarlane. So to be clear on, once again, what the Jokerbot details. So again, we got Batman Beyond, Batman himself in April, Shriek was in June, Batwoman, if you were lucky, with my pre-order luck, not at all, Batwoman Beyond in August, and then Blight's October. And again, all 4 of these are comprising what is the greater bot, which, once again, from the New 52 Future's End, he's got like half Joker, half Batman face, kind of the duality of, and the, let's call it duality and affinity the Joker and Batman have for each other, how they're kind of 2 sides of the same two-faced coin. Hey, but so it's, I like the themes behind the Jokerbot. But those are the Build-A-Figure details. So far, we've gotten Batman again himself. I got him way later than I should have. Don't even get me started yet with the non-exclusives, and we'll get to that. But yeah, the Target one, I guess, came to me with it's in some way, was competitive to how fast it got to other people. But for the most part, it was pretty, it seems, with this and the recent non-exclusive and what's been happening with Shriek. But I guess that happened with a lot of people. I have personally not had the best luck, which we'll get to. But yeah, so we've gotten Batman so far. And then I already told you when the other ones are coming out. I think they could have just, in closing on the Build-A-Figure details, I think they just could have chosen something cooler. Like, who cares that much? It's generally the Future's End is not a well-liked run of comics within Batman Beyond, so it is what it is, though. The rest of the Batman Beyond line, if you ask Khalil from casterscorner.com, shout out to Khalil, he was on DC Collecticast and Above and Batman Beyond to talk about the McFarlane Batman Beyond line. His whole thing is just, why all these variants? And a funny quote, someone needs to tell Todd that it's 2021 and not 1991. You don't have to keep putting out all these variants. I mean, I kind of agree. We'll talk about that, 5-pack possibility later on, but save that. Like, even if you didn't get that, we have 8 figures coming out, and you have, an exclusive and a non-exclusive of the same figure. So Batman and Batman. Batman and Batman, I get. But then, like, Batwoman and Batwoman, Shriek and Shriek. Come on, dude. It's just too much. We could have, for every extra one of those, we could have had a villain. Anybody in the chat? Patty chat. Blight and Shriek, this is from El Collecto once again. Blight and Shriek are definitely at the top of my list. I saw McFarlane talking about them. Yeah, that was on Instagram. I should have mentioned this. The McFarlane video of him when he revealed these, I believe back in December, he has one of the Batwoman Beyond figures. So Blight and Shriek are definitely at the top of my list. I saw McFarlane talking about them, but the ones I'm really looking forward to are the Royal Flush Gang, especially 10. Yes, Melanie Walker, 10 from the Royal Flush Gang. That would be a dope fig. Who knows with the 5-pack? Imagine if that was the whole Royal Flush or 5 from the Royal Flush. That'd be nuts. And El Collecto, thanks. I'm in Mexico. So unfortunately, Target doesn't ship to Mexico. Sorry for our viewers and listeners from Mexico. Lo siento. I apologize that that's happening for you. That stinks. But yeah, once again, Khalil isn't too happy with how they're released. I think that I agree for the most part, and especially because I love the figures and I love what McFarlane's capable of doing. So it's like, if you're going to go this deep, and speaking of other podcasts that we've had, like LT from our DC Collecticast show, he's been my guest co-host once again at House of Geekery. Follow his stuff. And as well as the Comic Collectors Guild, he's the VP of Comic Collectors Guild. And he was talking about how, like, they don't have, I lost my train of thought there. I'm all over the place today. So he was saying we're lucky to get the Batman Beyond at all in the multiverse, right? The Batman Beyond figures in the DC multiverse. There's so many other characters DC wide, and that's the whole point of the multiverse. And it's also, pop culture wide. So comics, movies, TV, all of it, it spans the multiverse. And we're still getting, so we're lucky to get Batman Beyond. So he's right. I agree with him there. I've always felt lucky. And of course, that's why we're covering all this. But like, I also agree with Khalil that we could have gotten that many more villains specifically, and just not so many variants. So yeah, let's do it, man. 5-pack. Now, this is from Toy News International, and that's who had the list that I was just reading about, the build-figure details. So this is from Toy News International. It looks like some kind of Batman Beyond 5-pack is coming from McFarlane Toys. No specific details are available at this. To be clear, this is from June 1st. No specific details are available at this time other than a listing discovered in the Target system that simply reads as DC Comics Build a Collector Figure Exclusive Batman and Beyond. Don't be worried about that because Target thinks Batman Beyond is Batman and Beyond with a price of $79.99 and DCPI, blah, 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 blah. But indications are this will be a Target exclusive. Now, this doesn't mean, it says we know that McFarlane is releasing the 4 DC Multiverse Batman Beyond figures at Target as single releases this year, which is what we're mostly talking about today. But each of which will have a piece to create the 5th Jokerbot figure. So what Toy News is saying is that, like, this could be a reissuing of all 5 of those Target exclusive figures. But with $79.99, he made a good point here, seems low for something along those lines. No release details. So, because, yeah, I mean, like, those are $25 figures. So for $80, yeah, you could think maybe that's a slight price reduction, but 5 figures, like maybe on 4 figures, you're going to get a $5 discount on each, but 5. So I kind of agree. So we might just get a dope ass 5-figure set. No release date has been listed at this time for whatever this set is. So we will just have to wait and see exactly what This is when more details are made available. And again, like the one piece of evidence is a picture that they have straight from, what do they call it? In the target system. Yeah, so it's like a screenshot of the target system and reading directly from it, if my computer will stop freaking out. Exclusive Batman and Beyond 5-pack. It's pretty funny. So that's the 5-pack, which I am super excited about. Oh, Collecto, I'm not crazy about the Build-A-Figure, so don't mind if I don't get it. I agree. Because I cover Batman Beyond on a podcast, I feel the need to, but I don't know if I would bother normally. So that's good for you. I mean, if it's not even available to ship to Mexico, which is again super unfortunate, then yeah, why worry about it? I know I feel that way about other. What was I talking about with? That's what it was. We recently on DC Collecticast covered the DC Dia de los DC Funko Pops, and there's just some of those that I personally don't really worry about. I don't mind not getting them because I'm not really interested. So that works out. So next, we'll go through some of my personal experiences with pre-orders, and then we are out of here. In short, again, nightmarish have been my pre-order. From memory, the Target exclusive Batman wasn't too bad, but it's definitely later than everybody else. The worst of it, okay, and we'll get to the not so worst of it, but the worst of it, okay, Batman himself from the non-exclusive was supposed to come in May or June. I didn't get it until like just last week. It's supposed to come in May, because if the exclusive, according to Toy News Eye here, and from what I remember, yeah, April was the exclusive. May, at the latest, should have gotten the other one, or maybe June at the latest, let's say. I mean, this is late June. Are you kidding? That to me was crazy. And the craziest part, as we talked about in DC Collectcast, I'm not blaming Target. I don't necessarily believe in all the Target hate. I do understand it, which we'll get to. But it wasn't Target. This was Big Bad Toy Store, and that was really surprising because again, it was the Target. It wasn't a Target exclusive, so it wasn't from Target. Yeah, that was the regular one, and ship notification on June 28th. So that means I didn't get the thing until, I don't know, probably the 30th, July 1st. Like, just crazy. I don't understand that, especially because Big Bad Toy Store is well known for, they're way better than that. Like, Target's notorious, which we'll get to next, but Big Bad's not. So that was really surprising to me. Another email we'll talk about now. This is once again from Target, and this is on Shriek. You've successfully approved a new delivery date. I got this at like 8:30 in the morning on a Saturday, I believe it was. 10 days ago, June 26th, for the Shriek exclusive, the Shriek Target exclusive. And this is another thing that's annoying, probably for international people like El Colecto. You're in Mexico, wherever you are, if you are in a place where you're not getting shipped from Target, and what's coming out first from McFarlane? Only Target. So it's like, Shriek comes out, and then you got to wait for the non-exclusive. That's so annoying. Like, why don't they just drop both of them at the same time? Also, and Khalil was saying about the Build-A-Figure, why not drop the whole Build-A-Figure at the same time? Why do we have to wait for Build-A-Figures or wait this long? I mean, we're talking about a year, but maybe a month. That to me, I'm a little between like what's Khalil saying and then just treating it like comics. Like once a month you get it. 4 months you get a whole Build-A-Figure. That's dope. Because Khalil was saying like the Marvel doesn't make us wait for that, and I'm all about DC, obviously, but I'm not switching teams, guys. I'm just saying. I just can't believe I just finally got the non-exclusive. That was crazy. And then, to wrap up what I was saying about Shriek, now that's arriving on July 16th, when once again, according to Toy News Eye, it was supposed to come, Shriek, I believe, was June. So that has now been put off to July 16th. God knows it'll actually show up by that time. That's my rant about my experience. And then LT's experience, again, DC from our DC Collecticast show, he has had much better luck. Apparently his Blight is coming on July 6th. If his is coming Friday and today is Tuesday, His is coming the 10th. Mine's apparently not coming until the 16th, so I'm behind on that. He got his, I mean, whenever we had the video here in the channel and the podcast, you know, him talking about the non-exclusive Batman Beyond that I keep complaining about here, he got that, I mean, over a month ago. So he's had much better luck. So maybe I'll catch up in other ways. So yeah, check out Toy News Eye and check out Target.com to order Batwoman Beyond. So what do you guys want from this line of Batman Beyond figures, like I said? As we wrap up here, you know, I think we should have an episode just on that 5-pack news. And I'll post questions to Instagram. We'll have you guys, we'll do a little collabo here with the audience. From El Collecto, once again, I'm so glad that he's making Batman Beyond figures. I'm grateful McFarlane is doing them. I'm mostly interested on Batman stuff, but Beyond is my favorite. Good taste. For some reason, I relate more to Terry. I can totally agree with that. In a lot of ways, I relate to Terry too. I was not born a billionaire, and I was not born, I was more of a delinquent like Terry was. Not too bad, but kind of like Terry had a past, let's call it, and cleaned it up by being the Bat. So that's pretty cool. So thank you, El Collecto, once again. And that is it for our live coverage of the McFarlane Batwoman Beyond action figure pre-orders. Again, with our niche of Batman Beyond, we'll definitely be covering more of the line of figures as news develops. So stay tuned here at the channel for all that. For the YouTube audience, sorry about the interruption with the dogs. They're dogs. What are you going to do? Subscribe to DC Collecticast, now back as a consistent pod. Once again, every other Wednesday at DC Collecticast. Subscribe for that. And the McFarlane Batman Beyond 5-pack episode. I definitely want to do that. I think that's a good idea the more I say. So once again, the audio from this will be on our Above and Batman Beyond podcast. Please subscribe to the pod if you don't already. We're on Apple, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And for the podcast listeners, don't forget about our Above and Batman Beyond YouTube channel here, where we spend most of our time these days. So please consider subscribing there as well so you don't miss our vids. If you don't already, please follow us on Instagram. We are at Batman Beyond Media, where you can find plenty of Beyond coverage. Speaking of Instagram, once again, our giveaway details are on our Instagram. You got to follow us there at Batman Beyond Media if you want to win the NECA 1-to-1 Batman the Animated Series Grapnel replica. Again, details at Batman Beyond Media, and they're going to be announced here on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe if you want to win. That is it. I've been Benjamin David, telling you to go above and Batman Beyond. And YouTube audience, once again, thanks for bearing with us. This is the newer studio. Between schedule mix-ups and the dogs, I had to go live before, and then I had to end the stream, and then that messed me up. So the beginning of this episode was a little, that's why I was a little stuttery, a little all over the place. Normally I try to stay present and not worry about such detail. But thanks for bearing with us in the newer studio space, YouTube audience. And once again, I've been Benjamin David. Gracias El Collecto for your participación. All right, ciao, guys.